Have you ever tried to just force yourself to be positive through a situation, or just tell yourself enough times that you'll get over it, but for some reason it's just not clicking? It's times like these that we really need to process our emotions. We need to reach a positive thought that is believable, that brings hope and is sustainable. This video is going to give us a specific tool on how we can reframe our thought in a way that stays true to ourselves. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Wealth Wellness. I'm happy to see you. So today we're going to discuss one of my favorite tools, and that's how we can reframe our thoughts using what we call ABCs. So reframing is very important because oftentimes we're so uncomfortable with our negative emotions that we want to jump from the negative straight into the positive. And sometimes our brain just doesn't truly believe it because we're lacking a process of how we got from point A to point B. So with this tool that we're going to discuss today, we're going to be able to work through our emotions, which is going to validate our human experience, but also we're going to work through that so that we can tell ourselves the truth and something that's positive, that is more realistic, sustainable, that brings us hope, something that we can repeat to ourselves and actually believe it to be true. So go ahead and stick with me as we dive into today. Like I said before, this activity is called the ABCs, but we're actually going to go through A through E, so bear with me. A stands for the activating event. You want to write down what situation you want to work through. B is your belief about the situation. Usually it's negative if you're feeling a negative emotion at that given time. C is the consequences. What happens or how do you feel because of what you believe? And then D. So dispute is when you spend the most time attacking your negative beliefs and how we can reframe them to something that is true and that is hopeful. And then we have E. That's where we acknowledge the emotions that we will feel if we truly do believe the dispute portion. So how does this really work? Let's go through it. So I want to go through the example of maybe your boss yells at you, okay? That will be the activating event. So now our belief might be, I don't do anything right. Or it can even internalize into something deeper. You know, I'm worthless. I haven't been doing anything right since I woke up this morning. You see how that can even spiral? See, what are the feelings that we would feel if we truly believe that we are worthless, that we can't do anything right? We can feel really insecure, we can feel anxious, we can feel deflated. Now it's time for the fun part, and that's the dispute section. How can we reframe what happened? Because we can't just tell ourselves, man, the boss yelled at me. I feel like I can't do anything right, but I'm just gonna smile through it. I'm gonna get through this. You know, you see there's a disconnect there. So how do we dispute it? By telling yourself the truth. Maybe I messed up on this one section, but I've done many things right today. Even though I may have messed up on this portion, it doesn't give my boss the right to yell at me. Because my boss yelled at me, that's more of a reflection of his character than it is mine. Maybe there's something that I can improve on. However, I need to decide if this is the type of behavior I want to tolerate. Do I need to have a conversation with my boss or go to HR? I am not worthless because I've done such and such and such and such and such for this job. So that's a way to dispute kind of what was going on in that negative interaction. A good dispute also is that I'm learning and growing. Maybe I'm not perfect in this area and I can develop, but also it wasn't okay for the boss to yell at me that way. Now for E, your emotions. How do you feel if you truly believe that you are not worthless, that you do not do everything wrong? The boss was actually wrong in this moment, and yet you are still learning. A lot of times the emotions will feel more hopeful, more in control, more validated, and more empowered. You see how I couldn't just force myself. If a boss yells at me and I'm feeling these negative emotions, I can't just force myself and just say, man, I'll get through it. You know, I'm all right. You know, there needs to be a little bit of a a process and a rationale as to why you're all right. That will help your brain to believe it. Like, I will be all right because this is a reflection of him, and I get to decide if I want to stay in this predicament or not. So this is a tool that I often use anytime something pops up and I feel a negative emotion, but I can't yet just think about it in a positive light. Sometimes we just need to work through those emotions and work through those disputes to figure out why I'm actually okay. That helps your brain to really believe it so that you are feeling more empowered, more balanced, and more hopeful of your situation. Sometimes you can open up an email and just write it down, A, B, C, D, E, and just work through it so that you're able to quickly and effectively reframe your thoughts and grab onto a positive thought that is realistic. So I hope this was helpful. Please let me know if you try it or have tried something like this before. I'd love to hear your comment. And if you think that this might be a great practice for you to do daily, but you're kind of unsure if you're able to be consistent, you can go ahead and watch my series, So You Want to Make a Change, and that's going to step by step help you to have a daily habit. And if you feel like you would like some one-on-one coaching as to how we can continue to build mental fortitude or any other health aspect, you can gladly head over to my description box, as well as there will be a link where you can schedule a free discovery session with me to see if coaching might be right for you. So I hope this was helpful in helping you to rest in true positivity. And as you go, I just pray that you remember to just be balanced, be whole, and be well as you go out and practice these tools. See you next time.